Okay, so it says we're live, so I'm going to assume we're live, and we're going to talk about the Netflix series Masters of the Universe Revelation. How are you, mate? What's happening?
Yeah, finally got around to finishing them all off.
Yep, and what were your thoughts, mate? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, look, I enjoyed it.
Did ya? Wow.
Yeah, not all of it. It got weird.
Yep, what bits got weird for you?
Triclops and his motherboard magic cup.
Yep.
That caused me to have my little bit of a brief hiatus, to be honest.
Yep. That's an
That combined with Tila's new haircut,
Oh.
which I saw coming as well from a mile away.
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? Yeah. So look, first things first. Awesome animation. I reckon that's like right up there with some of the best animation I've ever seen. It's fucking that was kick ass. I really liked what it looked like. I really liked the first episode where all the characters were actually in it, and they're all wearing like their correct like costumes, and they looked like they used to. So Triclops has his kick-ass green outfit on with his you got to have jocks and boots if you're in the Masters of the Universe world. Yep. Beastman had his big, I don't know what you would call it, his big fluffy jacket and spikes on his shoulders and stuff like that. So he looked really good in that first episode. Trapjaw looked awesome in the first episode. Man-at-Arms looked awesome in the first episode. God, there was a lot of characters in there that were. I was looking forward to seeing the extended universe, I guess, within reason. You know, like Fisto was in there. Of course, they didn't call him Fisto because that's you can't call people that on TV anymore. What did you think of Mark Hamill as Skeletor? I thought it was a little bit distracting.
Me?
Are you there, mate?
Yeah.
That was weird. Did you dropped off there for 2 seconds?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened then.
No, all good. So, I was talking about the costumes, but then I said, what do you reckon of Skeletor as Mark Hamill? Did you find that distracting? Did you just
No. In fact, people had to remind me that it was Mark Hamill for me to be like, "That's awesome," and then I would just forget. To me, it was Skeletor.
Okay, cool. Because I just kept thinking it was Joker from the Batman series.
Okay. Yep.
You know that awesome animated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that keep like, you know, for the look. I'll get onto my main problems.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, cool. Why the fuck wasn't He-Man in this show? Like, what was the point of that? Why wasn't Skeletor in the show?
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard that was going to happen, but I kind of tried to keep my ears blinded to it until it actually happened.
Yeah.
They did what they did and got pulled away, and it was all about Teela.
Yeah. And why did they make Teela an insufferable cunt?
They've been holding onto that word for a while, and I like it. I get it. I like the idea of her being pissed off that everyone knew about He-Man being Adam except her. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So did you think it was appropriate, given that her He-Man's father didn't know, he'd just found out about his son's death, and then Teela decided to steal the show by being angry about not knowing about the secret? Did you find that weird? Or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right. So what else do we have? Evelyn was good. In it.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. No, definitely good.
Yeah. It was
I mean, what did you make of that second episode? We'll call it first episode after the awesome episode.
So what was that? Was that the
motherboard? It was cool. Yeah. We're going back to Snake Mountain, and then it was Triclops and Trapjaw being fucking weird.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, they were always going to be being weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so overall, look, here's the problem with this show. A lot of the things I don't mind in an overall sense. Okay, so I don't mind overall that the show was mainly about Teela. It was just executed fucking poorly. So it made me hate Teela. Do you know what I mean? Like, she was just a fucking horrible character to have constantly be right about everything, even though she wasn't right. Like, that's the irony of it. It's just like the smugness and arrogance of her being right about everything when it's just like, you're fucking not right about everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb that you think you're right. So look, cool. What would have been good, right? Skeletor is now dead. So there is a power vacuum because all the other bad guys are pretty fucking kick ass in Masters of the Universe. Trapjaw's a pretty cool bad guy. Triclops is a pretty cool bad guy. So there could have been like a power struggle where one of them had taken over Snake Mountain. You don't need the techno cult. You don't need it for it to be good.
No.
You don't need to change Triclops' fucking costume. His costume is better how it was. And you put him in that weird, stupid priest robe. And
did
it have a really high headpiece for some reason? Do I remember that correctly?
It did. Yep, like a big bishop hat thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just not necessary. Not necessary.
No,
like he could have like been wanting to take over Eternia. He could have had some sort of magic thing. It could have even been the cup, and he could have been forcing people to drink it and then turning them into slaves. And then that's a story, and it is what it is. Like, it's like I'd be happy enough with it. But yeah, it was like, and so what it is like. He's building a big army, and so Teela and her ethnically diverse woman of color lesbian friend, because you have to tick all those boxes for some reason, don't you? Like
non-binary,
they them, just go in there and just kick ass. Like, they just like these. Yeah, there's no stakes because you just know she's going to win all the time.
Yeah.
Which, again, fair enough. Like, and it's based off a cart. Like, I really enjoyed the He-Man cartoon when I was a little kid, obviously.
Yes.
But it's not that rewatchable anymore,
No, you rewatch it now for a bit of a laugh at what you put up with as a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought was awesome as a kid.
Yeah. It's not Dragon Ball Z, which I can rewatch now. It's not the X-Men cartoon, which holds up now. It's not fucking the Batman cartoon, which holds up now. It's not fucking Transformers the movie, 1984, which, by the way, is the way that you kill off a main character if you must. Instead of just like, because Optimus Prime was awesome, he went out awesome, whereas like, they just make He-Man and Adam in this like just foolish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he every time He-Man's in it, he has to get saved by someone else. Like, even in the flashbacks, which is just like, it's just boring. It's like, okay, I know what's going to happen here. Yeah. So, what else happened in it that was just weird?
Orko was cool.
Like, Orko was cool. Yep.
Exactly like he was, and they got to have the bit where he was like good at his magic and fucked up that Skeletor devil with the rings.
Yeah. Yep.
That was really good.
Yeah.
And kept my attention, because I did find myself drifting away a few times during some of the episodes.
Yeah. Because it was look, Man-at-Arms was good as well.
Man-at-Arms was almost too good with his special laser beam.
Yeah.
Like, Faker was cool in the first episode. but Sorceress couldn't fuck him up. Like, couldn't. Her magic did nothing to him. Then Man-at-Arms comes along and just cuts him in half.
Yeah.
I was like, why do we even need He-Man, Man-at-Arms?
Yeah.
You're He-Man. And then that laser came in it again and again. And I mean, he had that laser, and Man-at-Arms was tough.
Yeah.
And I'm not griping at this. I enjoyed it, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, I mean, look, that's another example of like, you could have extended this whole thing. Like, you could have made this really awesome without, like, killing He-Man and Skeletor was just very unnecessary. Like, all of these characters can have moments if He-Man and Skeletor are still in it.
Still there.
You don't need to kill them. It's like making Luke Skywalker shit in Star Wars just so people like Rey. Both things can happen at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, because like, as well, it's like, when Teela catches up with Man-at-Arms again, what does he do? Like, he apologizes.
Get in the water.
He's like super apologetic and everything, which is fine.
He looks really cool with his beard.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and the cool top knot ponytail thing going on.
Yeah.
Looking like a metal samurai situation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and so yeah, he's he's apologizing to Teela, and rather than Teela saying, I also
I'm actually sorry.
I also acted like a cunt. She was just like, no, I accept your apology. It's just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and the same when she meets Adam.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He literally
heaven.
Yeah. He literally. She's like literally angry with him, and he's like, I died. And then she goes, and the rest of us had to live with it. It's like, you can't. Don't you understand?
Well, man, they stuck with her character development. That was it.
Yeah.
No development.
Yeah. It's a pretty fucking flat arc. And then, like, in Heaven as well, it's like, of course she wins the race. Like, of course she's the one that,
has the skills.
Yeah, they're doing that race thing, and of course she's the one that wins. Of course,
Yeah.
But
look, I
again,
did enjoy.
If that was like the thing that happened every now and then, that's cool. That's interesting, But it's just like every time, it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, again.
Yeah. And Adam even looked at her as if to be like, I couldn't have done it without you, as always.
Yeah.
But Adam being the only He-Man that didn't be He-Man in Valhalla was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
No, I enjoyed that.
I thought there was reasoning behind that, and I like that. Like, he was always Adam.
Yeah.
Before he was He-Man.
Yeah.
Which we're getting close to the grand finale.
Yeah. Just before we get to that, so when when Teela's fighting Scareglow, like the Skeletor demon thing.
Yeah, right. That was called Scareglow.
Yeah, he's Scareglow. I only know that from the toys. I don't know it from I can't remember him being in the cartoon.
But there was an existing toy back in the Mattel days.
Yeah, called Scareglow, and when you turn the lights off, he shone in the dark.
Ah. He probably wasn't in the cartoon at all, but they decided to bring him in for this, which is good. Bravo, Kevin Smith, then.
Yeah. And then, okay, so she's fighting him, and it's like, it's the typical, you've got to face your worst fear type thing. Yeah. And her fear to overcome was that she was afraid that she was too awesome. That was the fear. It's fucking retarded. It's just like, can't you give her any sort of thing that makes me like her? It's just like, oh no, I will no longer be afraid of being too awesome. It's like, oh, thanks. Fucking glad I spent fucking half an hour watching this episode.
It's very, very covered and storm blessed, really.
Oh, it's
I can't always be awesome, but I am.
Yeah. But he goes through some struggles and he's wrong some of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah. Okay. So then, what happens then? Then, what is it? Diverse person of color, they, them. She solves the riddle of getting the sword back together, of course.
Yeah. I don't really know what her point at all was. Just she was meant to be like the outsider, like us.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was her point? Like she didn't know anything about. It's like she just appeared in Eternia that day.
Yeah.
She had to be explained every little. Who's this? Who's this?
Yeah.
What's going on?
My cynical
like she came from Earth in some sort of weird Christmas special.
Yeah. My cynical opinion is she was there to tick diversity boxes.
Oh yeah, well it was.
Is that reason?
There was no doubt about that. But they could have tried a bit harder to make it not that.
Yeah. So anyway, she solves the riddle. They get the sword back, and then they go back to Eternia. At this point, I was like, okay, if fucking He-Man and Skeletor come back now, I'm not going to be bitterly disappointed in what happens.
Mm-hmm.
That was the promise I made to myself.
This is yep. I can picture this happening. Yep.
Yeah. And then we got to the I have the power bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure he's going to turn into He-Man, and then we can move on with the second part of this series, and I will just think that the first part was shit. However, then okay, so then he just gets stabbed by Skeletor, which again, if within the context of the whole season, you know, if the rest of the season was good, that'd be fine. But it was just like, oh, for fuck's sake, okay. So anyway, you know what I mean? Like, if there was some He-Man and Skeletor throughout the rest of the season, it'd be like, okay, that's the thing that's happened. That's fine. But anyway, so it's like, and I don't think Adam's going to be dead or anything either. It's just I feel like with 5 episodes left, we've got like 3 episodes at least of like no He-Man whatsoever. Yeah. And then after that, it's like,
Look,
just him recovering. Skeletor has the sword, so that's impossible for him to become He-Man anyway. So there's and Skeletor getting the sword, that's okay. You know, him becoming Skelegod, that's a different thing. You know, never seen that before. That's fine. But it's also like, I feel like Skeletor is good enough as it is without having to do that crazy shit.
Yeah, look, I liked it. I didn't see it coming. I'd seen a toy of Skelegod, so I knew that he was going to become more awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously using the Sword of Power. But I didn't expect Adam to get stabbed as he had the power.
No.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. But it was out of context with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
There hadn't been any real violence at all yet, apart from the odd laser beam from Man-at-Arms.
Yeah. Yeah, so which was weird as well, because they're like, oh, it's going to be for adults and stuff. And it's just like, well, there's no blood or anything like that. No. Like, it wasn't entirely for that purpose.
But like you said, it did not leave me looking forward to the next season.
No. So I guess, have you got any predictions for what you think is going to happen in the next season?
I think you summed it up quite well, Adam. It'll probably be Teela searching for some way to help Adam.
Yep. Yep.
And then who knows? And Skeletor, Skelegod, ruling Eternia maybe in a Jafar and Aladdin kind of way.
Yep. 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 I think they're all things that could happen.
Yeah. I don't know. She-Ra? Will we get She-Ra?
I don't think so. Because She-Ra would rain on Teela's parade.
And Sheila's already in a weird Netflix cartoon.
Yeah, which I actually watched a few episodes of, and it's
so did I.
It's fucking terrible.
I was.
Hello?
Yep. Sorry, I think sometimes my phone. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I thought I was watching a different show with her and the animation. I hated everything.
Yeah. Me too. And that's the thing as well.
Did we get a mention of Hordak in this cartoon? I feel like we did.
Nah, not that I know of.
We did. They didn't even mention it. Oh, okay.
No, not that I know of. All right, so here's my bold prediction. For next season. Me cancelling my Netflix subscription is my bold prediction for next season.
Whoa.
I reckon this is what's going to happen, and I reckon when it happens, I will break things in my house. So we won't get He-Man and all normal Skeletor, other than maybe flashbacks.
Oh yeah.
Now it's possible there will be a battle between He-Man and Skeletor or Skelegod somehow towards the end of the season. Like right at the end, there might be a battle between them. But I think what will happen is this. I think Teela, because they kept cutting her off. They kept being sort of cock blocking things throughout the season, where it was like someone was going to tell her that she's the daughter of the sorceress.
Yeah.
So that will be revealed. She will become the sorceress, I think.
But we knew that already. That's long established in.
Yeah.
Let's call it He-Man canon.
Yeah. So I think that is what will happen. I think she'll become the sorceress. But then I think the reason she has diverse friend of color, they, them, with her is that Teela will then choose the champion of Eternia.
Oh dear.
You see where I'm going with this? And
yeah,
it will be diverse friend of color will be
who we actually don't know. That I like how we both don't know the name.
I wouldn't have a clue what her name is.
No,
wouldn't have a clue.
No,
wouldn't have a clue. So that will be it. And then when people are mad about that story direction, here is the other thing I can guarantee: people will be called misogynists and racists for having that opinion. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. They're my predictions for the next part of the season.
Pretty. Yeah, I can see all that coming to pass.
Yeah, and I couldn't imagine making a worse storyline than that. That's like literally the worst thing I could imagine. And I feel like it almost seems like the most likely.
I love that.
Yeah, and I don't see why. Because what it was, right? Getting back to like the original cartoon, it's the perfect series to make into this sort of more adult cartoon, because the original had like heaps of world building, but not much actual like lore that you have to fit into, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So it had heaps of elements. It's like He-Man is Superman because he's got a secret identity and that kind of stuff. He's also Conan the Barbarian, which is an incredibly popular character. There's also magic everywhere. And then they also have Star Wars type
technology.
Technology and stuff. So it's just like you could.
It's like Star Wars, like you said. Like Yeah, so it's all primitive and castles, yet they've got laser guns and spaceships and stuff.
Yeah, and hover jet skis.
It was
perfect
for kids. No imagination, yet all the imagination.
Yeah, exactly. And so with a show that, it's one of the, I think it's one of the top 5 most popular toy lines of all time. Mm-hmm. So it's insanely popular, and all those people have fond memories of it. So if you made a good show of this with this awesome animation that they do have, so they've obviously put fucking heaps of effort into this animation, and just put a heaps better story behind it, where it was fucking, I don't know, fucking He-Man beats Skeletor, and then there's a vacuum of power, and he has to beat all of the other villains, or something like that. Or each of the people goes off on their fucking side missions to do stuff, or even just the same shithouse story with Teela not being an insufferable jerk, and then He-Man actually coming back at the end. Would have been fucking great. It's so much easier to do that than the nonsense that they did do. Yeah. Fucking crazy.
Yeah, we're not surprised.
Nah. So yeah. So all I can say is I'm glad Invincible was fucking awesome.
Yeah. And there are some other cool cartoons going on Netflix right now.
Yeah. So Castlevania was awesome. I've been watching that.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, I got to keep going with that. I'm still only about halfway through it all, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, well. You'll always have the toys.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not. That's the thing. I would have bought more toys. If this was awesome, I would have bought these versions of the toys. But yeah, I'm not going to now.
I was hoping it would cause them to bring back the old toys.
Yeah.
Because I'd be highly tempted to buy an old Castle Grayskull, because I never owned one.
No, I never had Castle Grayskull. I had Hordak's one, which looked nothing like where Hordak lived. They were really just phoning it in for the toys. But yeah. Yeah, there you go.
For the longest time when I was a kid, probably not the longest time, but for a while, it's one of those confession things. I thought it was called Castle Brave Skull.
Did you?
For a long time. I also thought lightsabers in Star Wars were called lightsavers.
Wow, that's weird.
This is
because it's
when I was young,
it's quite the opposite to that.
Yeah, but that's what I thought it was. Just I was too young to know what a saber was, probably.
Yeah, I didn't have that problem. I didn't have that problem with Castle Grayskull or lightsabers, but I did with avocados for the longest time. I thought they were avocados with a D.
But I don't know why Brave Skull for ages, and I think I even heard people call it Grayskull, and I thought, why are they fucking that up?
Yeah, because it's green anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, and He-Man was brave.
Yeah.
It's mad how Castle Grayskull does look so evil.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's awesome how it's called jaw bridge instead of a drawbridge. That's sick as well. And
did you like how it went all crystally? I hated that.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. It's just they had to wreck everything. It's oh no, Castle Grayskull's just an illusion.
Actually,
and it's oh, for fuck's sake, why? What's the point of that? That was just it's just so unnecessary, isn't it? It's
like we just discussed, it's so cool how cool Castle Grayskull looked, and then they had to take that away from me as well.
Yeah. It's crazy. Mad. We've got a comment on this stream, mate. Somebody's given us a comment. And they're saying, OMG, I'm tired of everyone whining about Teela. And it's yeah. Everyone, I'm tired of whining about her as well. But did you?
Yeah.
OMG, did you?
I went into this
or not?
I went into this tired, knowing that this is what was going to have to happen.
Yeah.
Have to happen.
Yeah. Oh no, and they've commented on Castle Grayskull as well. Castle Grayskull being an illusion has always been canon. Okay.
Maybe it
Fair
has.
enough.
I could stand corrected on that.
Maybe it has. I feel like rather than always been canon, I think there was that 2002 series which was really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. But yeah, no, perhaps it's always been canon. Perhaps that was part of the little comics that came with the toys or something like that. Nevertheless, that's a ship part of canon, and that's something you can change in terms of canon. Yeah, no, but thanks for listening, Moonlight Bright.
Yeah,
Bright, rather. I do appreciate you listening. Give us a subscribe. You can be our second subscriber. I won't hold my breath that you're going to subscribe, but I do appreciate you listening.
Absolutely.
What else? What else, mate? Yeah, look, the kids trailer for the CGI one.
That's guaranteed to be bad. No, but I mean, it looks like a fun kids show, I guess.
Yeah.
It reminded me a bit of the new Voltron.
I mean, look, they did an animated Voltron that was really good on Netflix. So not a CGI one. It was actual.
What? There's more than one. Oh.
Yeah. There's a cartoon Voltron on there, and I highly recommend that one.
I'll have to dig that up.
To this. But yeah. What else do we have? Yeah, watch that. That was really good. Trying to think. Oh yeah. Look, one thing about that kids one was I don't mind how they all get different powers when something happens. Did you notice that?
On the preview thing?
Yeah. So I don't know if they all have to say I have the power or something, but the whole team gets different powers when he.
I did see something like that. Yeah, I was watching it really fast on like the tram or something.
Yeah.
But that could be good. Yeah, he's a team called the Masters of the Universe or something, which it always was.
Yeah.
Looks like there's more focus on.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because I mean, part of the beauty of He-Man, I liked it. There was no explanation on anything. It was up to your own imagination. When you played with the toys, you could build it yourself.
Yeah.
And as we've gone on, of course, there's going to be more and more explanations and origins, which is cool.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember I had some comics back when we lived in the hovel, I reckon, in 2000 and whatever it was, 4. They were pretty good.
I've got some more recent DC Masters of the Universe comics. The first 3 of that series, which are pretty good as well. Have to say as well, we got our first dislike ever on a video, so I'm gonna assume that's Moonlight Bright. But again,
a dislike.
A dislike, a thumbs down. So we do appreciate you listening.
Yeah.
Real Teela fan. It's just like I like Teela. That's the problem I have with this version of Teela. But anyway, there we go.
There's people out there searching for hatred on Teela.
You think?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
And on that note.
Yeah. On that bombshell. So I have to say thanks to Moonlight Bright for listening. We do appreciate it.
No, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, so do I. So what's the go? I'm so surprised anyone was listening. I need to work out if it's an actual comment or if it's just in live chat. It's just in live chat, I think, which is a shame. So, yeah. Moonlight Bright, give us a subscribe. One day, we're not always negative about stuff. There's multiple things that we have liked, including Invincible and Brandon Sanderson's Rhythm of War. So, yeah. All good.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you.
That sums it up.
Yep. Thanks for this counselling session, mate. I feel better now.
Yeah. No, I know. It took a while.
Yeah.
Bottled up inside.
Exactly. All right, mate. Well, I'll put a thumbnail of Tila flexing on this thumbnail, and we'll upload it and see how we go.
And put it up. Awesome.
All right, mate.
All right, mate. Good to talk to you. Talk to you soon.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.